All right, a quick pros and cons video on this 2022 Audi SQ5. And I'm doing this video because, well, the main review I did, if you haven't seen that already, was very long and very in-depth. So if you want to see all my detailed driving thoughts, how I feel about this vehicle compared to the competitors and even the sedan counterparts in the Audi lineup, then make sure to check out that full in-depth review. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. Let's talk about this. The biggest pro for me with this new 2022 SQ5 is that engine and the exhaust system, I guess, because it's got such a great character to it. I love the little burbles and crackles and pops that this vehicle makes just in the comfort mode, and it doesn't really get enhanced much more in the dynamic mode, but just the way it is in comfort, and it's a subtle smooth tone. Okay, this engine is silky smooth like in typical Audi fashion, and the exhaust noises are not obnoxious in any way. Okay, it's not super loud, it's just subtle, but it's just a great thing to experience. So I love that. It's a great pro. Now, to counteract that, one of the cons is this transmission, this 8-speed automatic. You know, it's just not that quick to respond, unfortunately. Even compared to like the Audi S4s and the S5s that I tested out from like 2018 and 2019, those vehicles had a much quicker reacting transmission than this. This is a little bit more sluggish. Not sure what's up with it. I mean, this thing tows about 4,400 pounds. There is that, but BMW pretty much annihilates this. Okay, their 8-speed ZF is on another planet compared to this Audi 8-speed. The BMW 8-speed, man, that thing reacts almost like a Porsche PDK. It is just comically quick to see how that thing reacts. And also, another thing, you know, I mentioned the engine as being a pretty big pro to this. That's mainly in the sound, but in terms of its quickness, BMW also kind of wins out there. Okay, this loses steam on the high end. Okay, if you're on the highway doing like 70 miles an hour and you punch it to pass somebody, it's not quite as quick out on the highway. With the BMWs, man, the new inline sixes that they're using with the updated power figures, that thing pulls quick off the line, and even out on the highway just pulls like crazy. You know, I did the whole top speed at like 130 miles an hour, and it still felt like it had more to offer. It's just limited to 130, so there's that. But another big pro to Audi products is their interior. I like how you don't have to step up to like an Audi A8 to get a phenomenal interior. You can get like S4s, S5s, SQ5s, things like this, and still get an amazing interior space. Carbon fiber is now standard for 2022. This is actually the only interior trim that you can get for 2022. And I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that. The solidity is high when you open and close a door. Seats are super comfortable. The Bang & Olufsen definitely worth getting. Now, this particular vehicle is optioned to be like 73 grand. I don't recommend you getting such an expensive SQ5. Just go ahead and get like a $63,000 Premium Plus and option the Bang & Olufsen separately for like 950 bucks. So 63 grand, you're good to go. I think that's the way to do it, because something that adds to the price of this is the S Performance package, which gives you a differential as well as like a sport differential, as well as the air suspension, which I don't really think is worth getting. It's not worth paying 3 to 4 grand for that, because this actually rides a little bit firm over the smaller bumps. We have here like the 20-inch wheels that come with the black optics package. Looks amazing. That's not an issue. We also have here like these Pirelli Scorpion tires. Because you have a spare tire in here, which is the Pro, you have more tire options here. You don't have to get run flats. You can actually get some Continental tires that are going to be smooth, quiet, plenty of grip. That's what I would recommend for this Audi. But yeah, overall, because this is an SUV, weighs about 4,300 pounds, and it sits up higher than the sedan counterparts like the S4s and the S5s, this rides a little bit stiffer, because that's just what the manufacturer has to do to counteract the extra weight and the fact that it has a higher center of gravity compared to a sedan. They just have to stiffen up the suspension. And the air suspension is not soaking up or isolating you from any of the bumps. Not quite as well as it should, but 95% of the time it rides just fine. I just want to let you know that things like the S4 and the S5 do ride better than this. Also, it handles better than this, a little bit quicker, and the transmission is much quicker to respond as well. But being an SUV, the fact that it sits up a little bit higher, one of the pros is you can actually see a little bit better. You can see over bushes and things, and you're not quite as easily blinded at night by other people's headlights, because you also sit up a little bit higher, since most people nowadays, they all drive SUVs. And yeah, getting in and out is easy as well, both in the rear seats, the front seats, doesn't matter. I have plenty of space. I'm 5'11". I can fit behind myself. plenty of toe room, but there is like this plastic backing behind the front seat. So if you're an adult, your shin is kind of going to be digging into that plastic and hurts a little bit. But for the most part, people can fit back there. That's not an issue. Don't get that Sportback Audi SQ5. It's not really worth buying because you're going to be limiting your rear headroom space as well as the trunk space. And the trunk space is good. There's nothing wrong with it. You can fold down the rear seats. It's not completely flat, but it's pretty good overall. I will say one of the cons though is the rear hatchback, the rear tailgate, it doesn't go up very high. So if you're a little bit taller, even me at 5'11", I'm kind of brushing my head against that tailgate when I'm getting things in and out. So, you know, it's a pro and a con because it fits in garage spaces pretty nicely because it's a pretty petite SUV and the tailgate doesn't open up super high. But the con to that is you're going to be hitting your head up against it if you're a taller individual. But yeah, like I mentioned, you got a spare tire back there, plenty of space in my opinion. A little cubby spaces up front. It's not that great, but overall this is a pretty practical car. Plenty of space in the glove box. And I think the learning curve for the infotainment system and everything is pretty low in here. You can get in here, access everything pretty easily. This is one of my most favorite infotainment systems that Audi does. I don't really like their dual screen thing that I tested out on the Audi A6. This is a much superior system. Reacts really quickly. HVAC system, totally separated. You have heated seats, but no cooled seats. I don't know what's up with that. That's a con for a $73,000 fully decked out SQ5. But overall, I did enjoy driving this vehicle for the past week. I thought it was fun. Mainly that engine and the exhaust make it fun. And it looks pretty cool from the exterior as well. It's got that whole Stormtrooper look going on. It's got the black optics package with the white paint, right? So it's pretty cool. It's built well. It's solid. You can buy this thing certified pre-owned because it's so well made, and the interiors age so well on these. The leather seats don't wrinkle like crazy. So you can buy an older Audi and it's still going to feel great on the inside as long as you have a warranty. So nice little car overall. Make sure to watch my full review though if you want to see my detailed driving impression. So hopefully you found value with these reviews. Thanks again for watching. Take care and goodbye.